Hello, kitties. Happy holidays. We hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy holidays. It is officially the holiday season for all of the cheermeisters out there. Or holiday meisters? A meister is a bad thing, right?
Yeah, I think so. And that's relevant to us because Matt, my darling fiance, has a strict rule of no Christmas until after Thanksgiving. But it has officially turned Christmas season around here.
It has, and what a joy it has been for the past 2 days. We've decorated the Christmas tree. We have officially jumped into holiday mode. We are cheery, we are excited, and we are thankful that we had such a lovely Thanksgiving to kick it off.
We did. And before we move on to Caitlin Ween and the Christmas season, some fun facts about our Thanksgiving, or rather, a small recap from that notable event. Those who joined us last week heard us throw some shade at afternoon Thanksgiving dinners because our stance around here generally is it should be dinner. But we not only ate turkey, we ate crow this season because we ate at
That was a
3
good
p.m.
one. Yep, we did. We're a bunch of haters, and we had to swallow our pride and do what was best for the group, which is sometimes not something we're really good at. We like to do things
No,
on our terms.
it was a selfless act, but Baby Jack's schedule certainly aligned better with an afternoon moment. Our schedule, which is generally waking up later than we anticipate and trying to rush through the commercials of the parade, did lend itself to us missing the initial broadcast of the dog show, which was pretty troubling. But we caught up eventually and it all worked out. We kind of took responsibility for Thanksgiving for the first time since we're typically at home with our parents. And Liz Savage does a wonderful Thanksgiving spread, but Matt made his first turkey, and I think he was pretty nervous, but it came out really nice. And I tackled the stuffing. Caitlin helped with mashed potatoes, um, and Thanksgiving margaritas, of course. But there was a little trauma with the stuffing, and I'll let you tell the group about that.
Yes, so Matt is a wonderful chef. We call him Chef Matt for a reason. It was to my surprise that he had never made a turkey before. So this was his. I guess we were all just like taking a toe dip into the adulting thing. I guess you've been doing that for a little while now.
Not
But
in this department, though.
yeah, as far as Thanksgiving goes, we were all trying something new. So Matt was making the turkey for the first time. As Kelly said, she made the stuffing. It really was delicious, but where things went awry, in my opinion, is when Matt insisted that he cook the turkey on top of the stuffing.
Right. That's not usually in our stuffing's journey. And while it's not atypical, we also weren't cooking it like we were not stuffing the turkey. It was a turkey breast because there were only five of us. And, there's no shortage of butter or sausage grease or more butter in that stuffing. And Matt wanted to put the turkey drippings on top. And I think that might have been what set Caitlin's poor stomach into bad times.
Yeah, so unfortunately, 3 different rounds of enjoying the stuffing led to debilitating nausea to where I was. It's like it was that nausea where like your heart starts beating and you're like, I'm going down. I'm going
Yeah,
down.
you're
It
dizzy.
happened about, yeah, 30 minutes to an hour after our initial Thanksgiving. And then when I didn't learn my lesson or know what the culprit was the first time and had a little stuffing snack a few hours after our initial Thanksgiving, happened after that too. Not as bad. And then just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, we had Thanksgiving for lunch the next
Okay, but
day,
you were in on that
which
idea. I did not force this on you by any means.
I never said that was the case. It was a choice, and it was the wrong choice because day 3, oh no, it was the worst it could be, and yeah, that stuffing did
I would
not
say
stay
cookies were
down.
tossed.
Cookies were tossed.
And we blame Matt because the only difference in the stuffing than it is typically made, because I followed Liz's recipe to a T, were those turkey drippings.
All I have to say is Mama knows best.
Yeah. Who did we think we were? Or honestly, who did Matt think he was messing with Liz
Seriously.
Savage's tried and true success? But now we know for the future. Lay off the
Yeah.
extra grease in the stuffing.
Yeah, Matt is still reluctant to that.
Yeah, he denies
accusation,
that this was his doing by any means. Caitlin does have a historical weak tummy, so he's onto something there. And I, with a stomach of steel, was totally fine. And I ate the stuffing like 3 more times before I finally tossed it out yesterday. But, you know, I also had my gallbladder removed in April. That could be a whole special. Which really you'd think I would have more trouble because that's like literally what the gallbladder does is like filter out grease. And I don't have one anymore. But yeah, I was fine. So maybe I also agree with Matt. It could definitely have just been a you problem.
Well, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it so much. And to top everything off, after that, you know, 3rd round, I enjoyed a peppermint milkshake. So that was the true kickoff of the holiday season, and in true Savage fashion,
we'll never learn our lesson.
No, never. It was delicious.
It's
though.
peppermint milkshake season, and when Matt and I ran out to get some ornament hangers for our new ornaments and new tree, I obviously made him bring me to get a little treat. Even though Caitlin was writhing around on the floor in the bathroom getting sick, I texted her, "Hey, do you want a peppermint milkshake?" And she responded in 0.5 seconds, "Yes, please." So do with that what you will. Other things, food related, except not really, egg things. For those who don't know, I went to Ole Miss, which is the University of Mississippi. I actually wasn't clear on that before applying because they don't make it totally clear on olemiss.edu. But big rivalry football week for those who participate, and for those who don't, now you know. Ole Miss plays Mississippi State, our in-state rival, on Thanksgiving usually, so that's like lots of good fanfare Thanksgiving evening. That game was played. We beat the hell out of State and was so excited to see it happen. For whatever reason, I'm not really clear why, it's called the Egg Bowl, which is gross because eggs kind of like freak me out, especially hard-boiled ones, which deviled eggs and all that tend to make a big appearance around these times. But I prefer metal ones, like the trophy that we have taken back to Oxford, because we did lose last year. So that was a huge plus for me on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was really happy for you. It always surprises me whenever we're in a setting where like football is on the TV. Really only when Ole Miss is playing, TBH. Like how into sports you actually are. And I'm like, OMG, what's happening?
I'm dynamic. That's what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. It's always so fun to see how riled up you get. And I'm like, what's going on? And you're like, I don't really know, but I know that we're winning.
I recently am starting to understand what downs mean, which is really critical to understanding football. So that has helped me quite a bit. Things I don't understand are roughing the passer and pass interference, which are penalties that they call. And I just literally don't get it, because those two things, roughing the passer and interfering with passes, as I understand it, are the entire purpose of the game.
Yeah. Sounds like the whole point.
If I'm the player that's being called out on that, like, whiplash.
Yeah, WTF? What else was
exactly.
I supposed to do?
What am I here to do except for like beat up this quarterback? There's a whole line of offensive men. Wow. Not just on the football field, elsewhere too, but you know, like that part I don't get. But you're right. I have school spirit. I always have. And so therefore I do support my team, especially in big games like this. And I think it's generally good, fun, somewhat wholesome TV, except these rivalry games, Egg Bowl included, get pretty scrappy.
Yeah, this year especially.
They're tense and there's fights on the field, which like we don't condone that. That's tacky.
Don't be rude.
Don't be rude. But it is kind of fun to watch on television.
Totally. And I am inspired by it, honestly.
The fighting?
What?
You're inspired by the fighting?
No, of course not. Inspired by your school spirit.
Oh, thank you. Hotty toddy.
Yeah, because, well, roll tide. As far as rivalry games go, we had the Iron Bowl, not on Thanksgiving, but a day
Thanksgiving
prior.
weekend. No,
Thanksgiving
Saturday,
weekend. Okay. And I wasn't really paying attention, not only because I was busy, but also because I don't really care that much. I don't know as much of what's going on as you do, my dear sister, but I do like winning. And that is one thing we did this weekend.
Yeah, well,
Not by a long shot, but we
no.
did win.
And that's certainly a culture in Alabama. And I don't be offended, but like I do think that the Alabama folks tend to take winning for granted, and therefore it's like, oh, Alabama's playing this weekend, like we're gonna win. I don't even need to watch.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Because I am from a school where that does not always happen, especially within SEC relationships
Yeah.
or matchups. And when I love to tell everyone this, and it's getting old, but when I was at Ole Miss, we beat Alabama not once but twice. Once at home and once in Tuscaloosa. And the game in Tuscaloosa in particular, like Alabama was never winning. And the bar we were at, Innisfree,
shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Innisfree, literally became blue, which is one of our colors, by halftime. Like most of the Alabama fans had left at halftime, or like, and it was total. They were totally gone by the third quarter because they were so not used to losing that they like just didn't know what to do with themselves.
Threw a hissy fit.
Right. And like had to remove themselves from the situation of otherwise having fun. Whereas like Ole Miss fans are very accustomed to losing. If we went home from the bar every time we were losing,
we'd be dead man city.
Yeah, we would not be the school that we are, which is our little catchphrase is, we might not win the game, but we always win the party. And who are we to let people down with that?
Absolutely.
But back to the Iron Bowl, much more competitive than it probably should have been, because Alabama was ranked like number 8. Auburn was unranked. But that's the thing with these matchups, is you never know what's going to happen, because like there's so much tension and excitement around them that, you know, they really kind of askew the rankings and get crazy. And that the Iron Bowl, I mean, we watched it from start to finish, and it was a nail biter, and those poor Auburn fans thought they had it, and then Alabama doing Alabama things there at the end.
Oh my gosh, the Auburn memes are so funny. I guess they're funny to me as a Alabama alumni. Probably not so funny to the Auburn gals out there.
The crying girls.
It's so funny and sad.
Yeah.
And I feel sad for them. I'm like, well, I hope everyone had fun anyway. I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
Not at the end there.
No, and there, I actually, when the game closed in real time, they had an extra score. Alabama added insult to injury right there at the end. Luckily, I don't know if it's lucky, but that got called back, and the score was a little tighter. But FSU UF was also a crazy game this weekend. FSU was like ranked number 5, UF's unranked, and UF had them almost to the end. So all the teams that were expected to prevail ultimately did, but not without a really good fight, which is like exactly what you want for television that weekend.
Exactly. Amazing entertainment.
Yes. Speaking of which, other great amazing entertainment, that dog show.
Yeah, that's an Iron Bowl in itself.
The Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, the Puppy Bowl, of course.
And we have some thoughts. Congratulations are in order to Stash the Sealyham Terrier. If you've never heard of a Sealyham Terrier, that's okay. Neither had we. He kind of looks like a broom. And I gotta say, I wasn't blown away by him.
He looks like a grandpa.
Hence the name Stash.
Right. But he also kind of looks like a dog that would be on a pajama set. I can't explain it. It's like Scotty vibes almost.
Yep, but like blonde.
Blonde and like just like older looking. He looks like an elderly man.
Right. And I think he was like, 2 or 3 years old as our prime dog show candidates.
Right.
The runner-up, however, was Pumpkin the Dalmatian from the non-sporting group. And as a fellow member of the non-sporting group, I appreciated Pumpkin despite not really being that into Dalmatians typically.
Yeah, she was a really good-looking Dalmatian. Could be cast in 101's Dalmatians, the live-action version, even though that happened in like 1999.
And probably not 1999, but I think those were like animatronic Dalmatians, which is like very creepy. I actually have no idea.
Well, AI would never.
Yeah,
so
no, Pumpkin did it better.
Yeah, Pumpkin did it better. Pumpkin, she really is the golden girl. But apparently Dalmatians are really mean and sometimes like blind and deaf. So
yeah,
I don't know how they can win the dog show when they have so many ailments.
Well, I guess because this one didn't. And that maybe is what made her so special. I'm not sure what, I don't have a lot of like Dalmatian genealogy information, but I did grow up with a friend who had two deaf Dalmatians, and their names were Missy and Nick, and they were pretty rude.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
that checks
hashtag rude.
out. But honorable mention slash most likely to have been robbed at the dog show goes to Comet the Shih Tzu.
Obviously, she slash he, unclear, was is the most beautiful Shih Tzu I've definitely ever seen. Maybe one of the most gorgeous toy breeds I've ever seen.
Yeah, her hair was off the charts.
Yeah.
Which is why we're not sure if she was a girl or a boy. She had a bow in, but like it's a must when you have that much hair.
Bobby.
And you know, the Shih Tzu does not get a lot of love in the like group awards or best in show. So I was really thrilled to see her or him, them prevail in the toy group as the winner and then ultimately best in show. And I really thought that they might have had it there at the end.
I did too.
And Matt was really excited because that is Matt's breed of choice. He actually has grown up with Shih Tzus, which is so funny because like on paper, he's like a conservative white man who is in the Navy. You'd think he'd have like a Labrador retriever or some mid dog like that.
Some like butchy dog.
I don't know about butchy dog, but something, yeah, maybe a little sportier and like all American. No, that man loves himself a little Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
And growing up, his dog was Cinnamon, but it was spelled Cinnamine. Cinnaminh as a homage to the Shih Tzu's Chinese ancestry.
Oh my God.
And then after Cinnamine passed away, Cinnamine, they have Holly, the Shih Tzu, who's really cute and was born on New Year's Eve, but recently lost one of her eyes. So she's a little less cute, if we're being honest here.
Poor Holly,
I
a
know.
Christmas girl.
I know.
Girl of the seasons.
So wrapping up our dog show recap, as usual, slightly disappointed in the results. Loved getting to see our favorite breeds. You heard what I said. My take is that Labrador retrievers and the like are mid. They're fine, but like inspiring, they're not. Someone who is inspiring that we didn't highlight, the Afghan Hound.
I stand by my previous comment that she looks like Cher. This one did too. I don't know what her name was. Do we remember?
No. But they were featured on the like play-by-play scale of dogs as being one of the most aloof breeds, which to me adds to their gorgeous mystique.
Of course.
Yeah, but let's give the Sealyham Terrier the trophy. That totally makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Let's give the Roomba.
Yeah. Well, prize. You know, I was just glad I didn't see an unfortunate amount of love for the Bulldog. I said last week over the hype, and luckily that didn't happen this year. But transitioning away from dogs and into kitties instead, we wanted to feature a new segment that may or may not be coming week over week, and that is Kitty Corner.
Kitty Corner. Meow. Oh, I like that. That's the official jingle.
We did not develop that in advance.
No.
But this is where we talk about kitty-related people, characters, etc., who appeared this week. The first of which,
just like in our life.
Yeah. We didn't go looking for them; they just organically developed in front of us, and thus we needed to mention them, given the thematic kittiness that is the Savage Says podcast. First up, Kitty from Glee. I did not watch Glee in real time because it was like my senior year of high school, and then I went to college and I didn't have cable, and this was before most streaming stuff. Mm-hmm. So I literally had no mechanism to watch it. And I've recently started watching it at Caitlin's behest, and I'm at like season 4 where the new characters kind of transition in, and honestly I'm like not that into it.
They're pretty mid.
Yeah, season 3. Yeah, speaking of mid, season 3 was definitely where it was at for Glee, and then that's when like most of the main characters graduate and go to college, and everything kind of changes. But antagonist of the season, Kitty from Glee, and we would be remiss not to mention her in this segment.
Of course, she's that most iconic kitty. TBH. Say what you want about like Catwoman and kitties of other assortment, particularly the humankind. But Kitty from Glee is iconic. Shout out to fellow podcaster, actually, Becca. I don't know her last name, but she hosts the Lady Gang Network, or the Lady Gang podcast.
Shout out to Becca.
Yeah, so she's everywhere. But she's so iconic. She's so rude, and problematic, and like causes emotional distress in many of her
Yeah,
co-stars.
the part where she's like plotting against Marley Rose to make her feel fat. I don't know exactly what her end game was with that, but she was having her costumes altered smaller behind her back so that every time Marley tried them on, she thought she had gained weight.
That is truly a different form of evil.
Yeah.
That is not a woman supporting another woman.
No, which is not the character Kitty was playing,
No.
but like I don't know, that just like struck a nerve with me where I was like, "Whoa, that is like actually my worst nightmare." And how treacherous.
That's psychological torture.
Speaking of psychological torture, our other kitty of the week, or rather kitty related character, Jackson Galaxy from My Cat from Hell. We wound up on this program the night after Thanksgiving or so, maybe Thanksgiving night, because we were watching the Yule Log Cuteness episode, or
the super cute Yule log or something.
Super Cute Yule Log by Animal Planet, which was just like 45 minutes of kittens and puppies and bunnies hopping around a set decorated for Christmas.
Yeah, Matt selected this program, and the intro was like, "Get ready for bunnies in boxes, cats in toboggans, and puppies playing on the playground." And I was like, okay, work. And so then the puppies come out first, and they're pretty much just like pouncing all over, like within a little cage.
I think, well, there's no cage. It's like a play area.
Yeah, like a
but I think
pen.
they like covered everything in sausage or something.
They must have, because they were going ham, no pun intended, for all of those little ropes and such. And so we got about like 10 minutes into this first segment, and I was like, "Oh, is this it?" They were like, "Yeah, this is
the whole show.
program." Like, "Oh, okay. So if you're looking for some nice Christmas holiday ambience, because they were very inclusive. They had a Hanukkah.
Yeah, they had Shar-Pei puppies playing with dreidels at one point.
It was lovely. If you're looking for some holiday ambiance, definitely suggest Super Cute Yule Log on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yes.
But from programming for you, it recommended other cat and animal related programming. The first step was My Cat from Hell, which features total freak Jackson Galaxy, who claims to be a cat behaviorist. And he keeps all these like cat wrangling tools in a guitar case. And he comes in and assesses these like crazy, mean, aggressive cats and tries to rehabilitate their behavior. So the first episode we watched was called My Cat Hates My Boyfriend. And it was a giant black cat named Bear. And it was like the scariest cat I've ever seen. But
it was evil.
Yeah, Jackson was trying to get some things going in terms of improving his attitude.
Mm-hmm.
But those are not the kitties that are part of our community. Our kitties are typically nice gals who, you know, might have a hiss here or there, but I don't necessarily think like the cats from hell are really our target cats or audience.
Hissing is indicative of personality.
It's a distress call, though, most of the time.
Yeah, but that builds character.
Yeah, no, it does. Moving on to what's going on this week. You are busy at rehearsal.
Yes, I've gone back to work. Lesai. But in the most fun way, we've had rehearsals all weekend, and going back to our 5 to 11s, and then the show is in a week and a half, so things are moving fast, and that's kind of what's on my agenda for the foreseeable future.
That's amazing. And
yeah,
at this point,
excitedly.
you're complete with choreography and just kind of cleaning and tightening everything up, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All the really, really stressful parts of like learning the show and making sure I have all of my stuff in order and my brain turned on at all times has kind of simmered. So now I think it's going to get really, really into the fun, festive parts of putting White Christmas on stage. I'm so excited.
Yay. Well, I can't wait to see. I already have tickets to 2 shows, but probably need to add some to my agenda. It is getting busy though, because the Christmas time is upon us and all sorts of things start to happen. I don't have a huge week at work, just trying to stay afloat as my partner in crime is still living her best life on a cruise. She'll be back tomorrow, I think.
Good for
but
her.
we are going to a wedding in New York this weekend. And this will be our first wedding as an engaged couple.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
little family. A
yeah,
family affair.
kind of, yeah. And I'm probably getting annoying with like, oh, it's our first grocery trip as an engaged couple. Oh, it's our first November as an engaged couple. Matt is so over it.
He's like,
Um,
yeah, I get
yeah,
it.
congrats to us. But we haven't been to a wedding. We had like literally 9 weddings in 12 weeks in 2021. I think,
Crazy.
yeah, a lot of COVID catch up and then just like time in our lives where our friends were getting married. And so we were literally like living the wedding circuit. And this year we only went to one other wedding in March where Matt actually caught the garter. And he generally avoided that thing like the plague before. So maybe he just was really getting in the fiance spirit early, but it was attached to a football. So I think there's some like, weird masculine instinct to not let the football touch the ground. And therefore he caught it. But whatever the superstition is, or however that little lucky charm works, it did, because the next wedding we're going to, I will not be able to participate in the catching of the bouquet, which is really exciting for me because I feel like the older you get, the less you want to be out there with the girlies trying to catch the bouquet.
Yeah, what a milestone in your life.
Yeah,
You've turned a new leaf.
exactly. So earlier this week, I had to drop some stuff off. I have a hand-me-down heirloom fur coat that had a rip in it, but I don't really have anywhere else to wear it besides, cold winter weddings. So I thought this would be a good opportunity. Actually, speaking of another kitty, that's the tailor. So she
Oh,
should have
yeah.
made the kitty corner as well. We'll shout out back to her. But she's also altering an outfit for my engagement party coming up, which I'm excited about. And for those that heard me babbling on, I ordered approximately like 17 pieces, like dresses, tops, pants, skirts, all the things, to the tune of several $1,000s that I am waiting to have refunded to my credit card, because I think we did finally land on the right outfit. But of course, the one size skirt that I needed, they didn't have. So I had to order a bigger one and then have it like half of it taken in, which I'm sure will cost me a paw and a hoof. But that's just what's happening. And
That's showbiz.
yeah, we gotta get everything, right and tight to look great.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I've definitely realized through your process is how fast everything moves for wedding planning, for outfit retrieval, all of the things. You have to be speedy, quick, and really on top of your game.
Yeah, there's a wedding tax and there's also a wedding timeline. Like they say you have to order a wedding dress like no later than 6 months before your date, and like more comfortably 8 months to a year. And I mean, I've reached out to vendors who are already booked for next fall and the spring after that. So people like secure this stuff early, which doesn't daunt me. I like getting stuff done and like crossing it off the list, but
Yeah.
Matt's a little more of a deliberator, which I've kind of had to workshop just because, like, as you said, there's not a lot of time to dilly dally on some of this stuff. Like, you got to make these decisions and lock people in and whatever. And we're getting there. And I'm really excited. I think we're securing a venue this week.
Wow.
Yeah. So
thrilling.
exciting times. No, firm, nothing set in stone yet. So I don't want to share too much, but we are looking at spring of 2025. And yeah, just heading towards that. But first stop, engagement party. We'll be missing Caitlin, who was supposed to be our lovely hostess, but she got called to duty at White Christmas.
I was restationed. Yeah, the whole thing is twisted, sick and twisted, because this party was not only supposed to be about you, Kelly, but also about me as the hostess with the mostess. I was so excited. That aside, excited to celebrate you with all your favorite people
and
as
Matt.
well. Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. We'd in a festive affair, in beautiful, glamorous wear, but,
You'll be with us in spirit.
Yes, things happen, and I'll be celebrating from your lovely apartment in Atlanta.
Yeah, well, we're practically having an engagement party every night of the week with
Every
you here.
day.
So
every night's a celebration, and Matt can't get enough.
Exactly. Yeah, actually, he couldn't get enough, so much so that he has gone off to Finland.
He fled to Finland.
Where he just reported it is 10 degrees where he is. And actually,
talk about needing a mink coat.
Yeah. Yeah, people who needed my coat, my fur coat more than me, Matt, but he did not bring it. So hashtag prayers for Matt. That should also be a segment because we're talking about something we need to pray for him about week over week.
Totally. I think we talk more about Matt than anything else on this show.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's involved, but he's also not listening and refuses to follow us on Instagram because we won't follow him back. But
who does he think he is?
It's ridiculous, and he literally doesn't even use Instagram, so it's just a principle matter, and it's fine. We'll unpack that at another time, but we love him and so excited to celebrate at the engagement party in a few weeks. But I think it's time to wrap it up on that note. We've got things to do, parties to plan.
And I've got some chocolate pie to eat for breakfast. So.
Right. I was going to say, I've got a white outfit to fit into and make look fabulous, but there's chocolate pie in the fridge that we've got to get rid of before the garbage people come. And by garbage people, that could also mean us.
Garbage people who will be ingesting said chocolate pie.
Right. But our kitties are not garbage people. You are amazing, wonderful, beautiful people. And we wish you a gorgeous holiday season. Stay tuned for our Christmas extravaganza coming up soon. Unclear which week, but we hope you have an amazing week, day, life, and thank you for joining us on Savage Says.
Toodles.